Hello, everybody, and welcome to 2 for 22, a great production of Visit Central Florida. And, certainly when we look at the sport of water skiing, specifically the first question, what is 100 years, or what does the 100th anniversary mean to me? That's a tough question. It sounds simple, but it's really not. Water skiing is really one sport among hundreds, actually thousands of sports throughout the history of the world, if you will, at least for several millennia. But water skiing is different. Well, why is that different? And why is 100 years so significant? Well, first of all, 100 years of anything is significant, but particularly for the sport of water skiing, it's really a family sport. And family you can define pretty much any way you want to. But the fact of the matter is, it takes 3 people to water ski. It takes a driver, takes an observer, and of course, the skier themselves. That's what it's all about. It's a family sport. So celebrating the sport of water skiing, or 100 years of the sport of water skiing, is really about celebrating the family and the family of individuals that make up the sport. So, if you're looking at 100 years, yeah, we can start out with Ralph Samuelson back on July 2nd, 1922, 100 years ago. But it's more than that. I really view the centennial as a celebration of relationships, accomplishments, inventions, and the memories that have taken place over that 100 years. I mean, that is what's really remarkable to me. Sure, like I said, there's thousands of sports that have taken place over the last 2,000, 3,000 years throughout human history. But the family aspect, the relationship aspect, really is what makes water skiing significant, at least to me. Over those 100 years, if you look at water skiing, it's not about one person. It's not about one sports discipline, okay? And I was barefooting 3-event skier, show skier, a lot of different stuff I participated and competed in. But it's not about any one of those things. It's about the collective group of the sport of water skiing and the relationships, the memories, the inventions too, that took place over those 100 years. That's what the 100 years of water skiing means to me. The second question that our producer forced me to answer is the question about what is your most memorable moment? Well, for me, it's been 64 years of water skiing. Yep, I'm 68, started when I was 4. But water skiing's given me thousands and thousands of memories over the years. To just pick out one would be really, really tough. But when you look at the definition of moment, well, that can be, time forever. It can be a year, it can be one moment, winning the 1982 professional freestyle jump championships. It could mean anything. But really, for me, a moment, I'm going to redefine it, if you will, and give me that privilege. It's really about a year. And that year for me was 1984. And that is the most memorable moment in my water ski career. Not necessarily the most successful, and not necessarily anything other than, for me, the most memorable. And I look back over all those years of competitive water skiing and ski show productions, the Air and Sea Show in Fort Lauderdale and Miami, where we had 4.1 million people over 3 days in Fort Lauderdale, and producing shows, the Sea Show for that, along with all 5 branches of the military, was huge. But I did that for a lot of years. But it's really in 1984, for me, boils down to the definition of moment, and that's my definition. And that year kicked off, I just won Skier of the Year at Cypress Gardens. I moved to Florida, ski at Cypress Gardens, professionally 365 days of the year and 4 shows a day. but I wanted to be the best show skier, all-around show skier in the world. That was my goal when I moved down. And 84 sort of summed up a lot of that. I had just been nominated or selected the Skier of the Year in 1984 at Cypress Gardens. Going into 84 was also the first year of the Coors Light International Pro Tour, the very first pro tour in history. And that was started by my good friend and mentor and roommate, Skip Gilkerson, and of course, Rob Shirley, who does not get the credit that he deserves for many of the inventions and what he did for the sport. Well, the start of the tour was unbelievable. We were televised by ESPN, on ESPN, the entire season. It was a fantastic opportunity for all of us. But that was a big deal. I ended up placing third in the finals in Atlanta, actually north of Atlanta on Lake Lanier. But for the season, the tour finals, I was placed third for the year. That was a big deal. A month before that, before the finals, I was also competing in men's jumping, and never beat him. Never beat this guy to this day. His name is Frankie Dees. I ended up second. Frankie took first in men's 2 jumping, and I tried and tried and tried for years, never beat him. But I still got second in the nationals, and then also qualified to jump on the tour, which was a feat in and of itself. But as I looked back on all of that, that was, really quite remarkable. The time on ESPN and elevating the sport to me was huge. We were at our peak in terms of numbers and participation with the time American Water Ski Association, now USA Water Ski and Wake Sports. So it was really kind of a big deal at that time. And as we moved through the fall, I ended up getting nominated and selected again in 84, 2 consecutive years as Skier of the Year at Cypress Gardens. They're the best skiers in the world, okay, best show skiers, that is. And it's really the foundation of our sport and why we are where we are today. So to me, that was a real honor. And when I look back, that was the best group of professional show skiers ever assembled in history to this day. It was just an unbelievable honor for me. And then, you sum everything up that happened in 1984 and, the commercial spots and all the videos and the modeling and all of that type of stuff ended up, I went to work for Mastercraft Boat Company as their marketing manager. So really in a professional sense, and moving into the industry was a big deal in 1984. And right at the same time, my oldest son was born in December 16th, Nicholas the Pickles, who also went on to ski at Cypress Gardens, Tommy Bartlett's Universal Studios. He was a stuntman. But that 84 time frame packed so much fun, so much stress, so much anxiety with the competitions and careers, and seeing where the sport started back in 1922 and then watching it progress through the years, ultimately being aired on ESPN, slalom tricks, or no tricks, slalom and jump, both men's and women's, and then of course freestyle jumping, which was really my forte. But I can't remember if my ex-wife, Lisa, was a lovely lady and best doubles partner I ever had. She and I believe it was in '84, won the professional doubles championships as well, I think for the second time. And she was a big part of my life back then too. And but still, water skiing is a part of the family. It's a great opportunity for families to get together, friends, relationships, and everything else. And I just can't say enough about the sport and what it's done for me. '84 really was the culmination. A lot of successes since then. Before then, we're sitting here in Margaritaville, if you will, in Auburndale, Florida, at the south end of the Lake Myrtle Sports Complex. Over my left shoulder is the new competition ski lake that we just built, along with the USA Water Ski and Wake Sports Foundation. A lot of events coming up there. and now the World Championships of show skiing coming up in October, the 18th through the 23rd. So what a career, what a opportunity to be able to be selected to do this. And certainly to all my friends, my family that are out there, the organizations that I've been able to work with and encounter, has really been the thrill of a lifetime. I've been blessed. That's the bottom line. You want to put it in one word, it's blessed. And you know, for me, that really sums it up. The blessings that come from above have resulted in the blessings in my career and every other area of life. So thank you very much for joining us on 2 for 22. This is Mark Jackson. We'll see you again next time.